After the death of Uther Pendragon, the barons of Britain came together from the divers provinces to the city of Silchester, and did bear on hand Dubricius, Archbishop of the City of Legions, that he should crown as King Arthur, the late king's son. For sore was need upon them, seeing that when the Saxons heard of Uther's death, they had invited their fellow countrymen from Germany, and under their Duke Colgrin were bent upon exterminating the Britons. They had, moreover, entirely subdued all that part of the island which stretches from the river Humber to as far as the Sea of Caithness. Dubricius, therefore, sorrowing over the calamities of the country, assembled the other prelates, and did invest Arthur with the crown of the realm. At that time Arthur was a youth of 15 years, of a courage and generosity beyond compare, whereunto his inborn goodness did lend such grace as that he was beloved of well nigh all the peoples in the land. After he had been invested with the ensigns of royalty, he abided by his ancient wont, and was so prodigal of his bounties that he began to run short of wherewithal to distribute amongst the huge multitude of knights that made repair unto him. But he that has within him a bountiful nature, along with prowess, albeit that he be lacking for a time, none the less in no way shall poverty be his bane forever. Wherefore did Arthur, for that in him did valour keep company with largesse, make resolve to harry the Saxons, to the end that with their treasure he might make rich the retainers that were of his own household. And herein was he monished of his own lawful right, seeing that of right he ought to hold the sovereignty of the whole island in virtue of his claim hereditary. Assembling therefore all the youth that were of his allegiance, he made first for York, and when Colgrin was aware of this, he got together his Saxons, Scots, and Picts, and came with a mighty multitude to meet him near the river Douglas, where by the time the battle came to an end, the better part of both armies had been put to the sword. None the less, Arthur won the day, and after pursuing Colgrin's flight as far as York, beleaguered him within that city. Thereupon Baldulf, hearing of his brother's flight, made for the besieged city with 6,000 men to relieve him, for at the time his brother had fought the battle, he himself was upon the sea-coast, awaiting the arrival of Duke Cheldric, who was just coming from Germany to their assistance. And when he had come within 10 miles of the city, he was resolved to make a night march, and fall upon them by surprise. Arthur was aware of his purpose, and bade Cador, Duke of Cornwall, to go meet him that same night, with 600 horse and 3,000 foot, choosing a position on the road whereby the enemy were bound to march. He surprised them by an assault all of a sudden, and cutting up and slaying the Saxons, drove Baldulf off in flight. Distressed beyond measure that he could not convey any succour to his brother, Baldulf took counsel with himself in what way he might have speech with him, for he weened that so he might get at him, they might together devise some shift for the safety of them both.